Today on Woodturning, we're going to make a caterpillar pin.
Tim's American Beauty was made by Robust Tools, America's premier lathe manufacturer. Robust. Built to turn wood. Enjoyed for a lifetime.
Easy Wood Tools makes carbide tip turning tools, the Easy Chuck, beading cutters, live and drive centers, faceplates, and wire burning kits. Easy Wood Tools, easy to use, easy to own. Our late friend Bob Fulton taught me this project a long time ago, and it's great for beginning turners, or if you have a child you want to teach how to turn. This is really easy to do and a lot of instant gratification, and it only costs you a piece of scrap wood and 20 cents for a pin insert. So our caterpillar pin is made up of two pieces. Scrap piece of wood, and this came out of a big pin, and let me show you that. So I bought this bag of 10 pins for $2, and for that $2 I'm going to take the cap off, and you see the insert right there. It's going to take a little pair of pliers here and pull this out. So this insert is made in three different diameters. So this one is narrow, and I can take a 1/8 inch bit and drill a hole, and this will slide in it. Up here on this collar here, that's 5/32 of an inch, barely. So if I drill a hole 5/32, this will go in there tightly and hold it. And this edge right here keeps it from sliding back into the pin any further, so that stops it. So that's what we're going to use to assemble this. And then we're just going to use some pieces of scrap wood. We'll figure one out, cut it to about 6 inches, and put it on the lathe to turn it. Before we get started, I want to thank our sponsors, Robust Lathes and Easy Wood Tools, because without their support, we wouldn't be here, and that'd be no fun. I am an authorized Robust dealer, so if you are looking for a lathe, give me a call. And if you're looking for a really cool hollowing system, I do have the Elbow 2 on my website, and I've got a new line of really cool tools coming out that you can buy now too. But anyway, let's get to this project right here on hand. I have the blank mounted between centers, and we're just going to rough it out right now because I just want to make a cylinder, and we can leave the cylinder as large as we can make it. So this is about a 1 inch square blank, and I'm trying to figure out what type of wood it is right now. I think it is mahogany or teak or sarsaparilla or something like that. But whatever it is, it's scrap wood, and it was free. So I can feel a little bump right there. There's this again. I just want this perfectly rounded out. I'm using the tool rest as my depth gauge right here, so I have a nice, clean, straight line. And I want this to be as smooth as possible. That feels really good. Let's take a look at that. Oh, neat. Oh, and it's got this inside. This might make it interesting for a caterpillar, but we'll work with it as we go. So the next thing is I've got to mount this in a chuck so we can start drilling some holes. Okay, so I've mounted my jaws on my chuck, then they're long jaws like that. Now I could just push this in and tighten it and then drill a hole, but this could be off a little bit. And if you see right here, I still have the hole from my live center that was made when I rounded this out, right? So I'm going to take this in just nice and loose, bring my tailstock up, lock it in, and I'm going to center it on that hole, and now screw it in until it kind of bottoms out just lightly there, and I'm going to tighten this up now. So by doing it this way, I'm guaranteeing that this is perfectly straight. One other thing you have to watch out for, because this is the tricky thing with this project. If your wood has really curly grain and it's like going across, when you start drilling that really long hole, that bit wants to follow the wood. Softer wood's easier to go straight, harder wood's really tough to keep it going straight. So the trick I'm going to do off the bat on this is we're going to take our live center out, put that in there. I'm going to take my Jacob's chuck with a drill bit in there, and I have an 1/8 inch bit in here, but it is a short bit. It is not the, oops, dropped it. There we go. Oh man, my H bending over that far is tough. This is the bit we're going to use to drill 6 inches deep. but I'm going to make my initial hole with a shorter bit because it's less flexible. This thing's really flexible. So if I had it way out there, I'd do all that. So we're going to drill the first bit of the hole here. Turn the lathe on. We're going to bring the speed down to about 500 RPM. Bring this up. Now you still might get a little bit of wobble, a little bit off center, but it's pretty close. That's pretty close. So we're going to drill in about 1 inch. Bring it out. Make sure it's clean. Put it back in. And we're going to go the full depth of this one. Since it's shorter, it's going to be straighter. Now, we're in there about 2 inches. And what we'll do is we will swap out bits and we'll start drilling a deeper hole. Oh, unlock it. That helps a lot. Okay, so we have the longer bit in here now. And the length of it is important. This is a 6-inch bit. And if you hold up the insert, the ink insert, you can see I'm making this a little bit longer. So I want to drill a little bit extra deep because when I'm working on this end, which is like this, I might have to trim this down a little bit. So I need some space to play. Also, if you notice here, I have an extra inch of wood there, so that makes me have a safe length so this doesn't poke out through the bottom. I'll bend down later and get that when my knees feel better. Okay, tailstock is unlocked. And now we're just going to push it in. Reel it in. Now that, what do I say, the threads or the cutting edge on this is only about 1.5 inches long. So I only want to go in about 1.5 inches at a time and clean out the shavings each time, because once those build up, that's when it gets tough to get it to advance and it wants to turn. So go about 1.5 inches, come out. Ugh. See the smoke there? So I'll keep cleaning that. I'm gonna just grab a bit here because that's hot. There we go. And pull that out like so. Okay, so once I get this all the way down to the bottom, we're gonna switch and go to the other bit, which is a little bit wider. Okay, so now I have my 5/32 inch bit in here, and the one thing you want to make sure you do is that you go at least 1/2 inch in, and this is really cool because Robust has a scale, a number scale on the quill, so I can actually look at that and make sure I go 1/2 inch. I'm going deeper than that because you never know what modifications you might make while you're turning, and you might need a little more depth to push it a little further. But anyway, so we're drilled. Now we're going to remount it and start making our caterpillar. So we're mounted back between centers again, and what I'm making right now is the tip of the pin here. So I'm going to come back here a little bit further, and again I have room now. I can nip this off if it's not straight later to make the pin fit better because I've got room going this way. But let's get that shape where I want it. I'm just using the spindle gouge to kind of scoop and move. Trying to make the cleanest cut I can. I want to keep sanding down to the minimum. Now, this is going to get a little sketchy because it's a tiny spindle and we have a big knot hole in the middle of it, which might be an issue. But I think that looks about right there. I'm going to take it down a little bit narrower. Yeah, I want to take that down narrower. So I'm going to grab a parting tool and make a mark here. This will give me something to work from. Make a little bit of noise. Come back in. Now I'm going to leave this a little bit thicker right here because I kind of need the strength of the wood for a little bit, because the next part we're going to do is going to be making beads. So you can see what I'm talking about. This gnarly piece right here, it could be a problem. But we're going to start making some beads, and we're going to be using a beading cutter from Easy Wood. It's a negative rake, really works beautifully. We're turning our lathe up as fast as it will go because speed is your friend in this situation. And we're going to tilt the handle down just a little bit. And I'm going to wiggle this back and forth. And I'm watching for a color change right there. Once the color change happens, that means I've done the entire surface of the bead. There we go, so it got darker. Now we're going to come in here. Do this one. Color change. We're getting closer to that gnarly spot. But this thing makes beads really, really quickly, very nicely. You just don't want to get too aggressive with it because you can tear the grain a little bit if you don't go slow. Here we go. We're entering now. I can feel it. We're entering into that gnarly spot. Here we go. Whoops, see, caught already. But hey, design modifications are beautiful. Chunk of wood just flew out. I'm going to really tilt this down. Let's see what our design modification is going to look like. We might see the inside where the pin's going to go. Oh, that is cool. Look at that. Okay, we're going to keep going. If it holds together, we'll be down at the end where we've got to make a big fat bead to finish it off. Well, we survived the park inclusion, or whatever you want to call that. To finish this off, I got two things to do, and the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to make a larger bead, use a larger easy wood cutter here, and that'll give us like an ending point to our pin. So we're going to bring this in. Boy, this works so smoothly. Rock it back and forth a little bit. Color change, you can see I finished it. So I'm going to take a parting tool right here and take away some of the extra wood. And we're going to nip this end off on the bandsaw. And the next step is I have to go to the other end and narrow down the tip. So I would just want to put a simple, easy finish on this. So I'm going to use some Mylan's wax. It's a paste wax, which really covers well and it beautifies the wood. The colors come out really cool. I'm going to try to put as much of this on ahead of time because I don't want to get it splattered too much. What are you doing way back there, Brian? Never trust me anymore. Okay, we're going to turn this on. Nice fast speed. We're going to let the heat melt the wax into the wood and and you can see it's changing the color right now. Isn't that gorgeous? The only problem is with all these little beads, there's all those little gaps in there I got to get rid of. So, oh, if you notice, I've switched over to the blue paper towels, the shop towels. I used to use like Bounty and stuff like that. I thought shop towels were a lot tougher. And they kind of hold up, but the cool thing about them is that they're also softer fibers. So you see the fibers coming up right there. They're less likely to scratch your wood, I realized. So, oh, and this is like a lawnmower in here because I'm hitting that wood spot. It's like a blade hitting the paper. But anyway, so I really like the blue towels now. I think they're super cool, and they don't cost that much more, and they last, and also they're a lot easier to photograph because they're not white. And they don't have flowers and butterflies and things like that on them. Anyway, and they tear away, so they're also still safe, just like regular paper towels. So let's see what that looks like. Oh, she's beautiful. Isn't that cool looking? Wow, even look, oop, little paper towel in there, I can get that out. Okay, well, we're going to go over to the bandsaw, cut that off, do a little sanding on the end, and then put this pin together. Our caterpillar will come to life. I think this is Osage orange. I didn't know I had any laying around in the shop. It's really cool looking colors. All those beads make it shine. So let's make our caterpillar pin functional. Just push this in there. A little bit of resistance right there because that's the diameter that catches it. So there we go. That is how you make a caterpillar pin. And we survived that part, thank goodness. Anyway, keep turning and keep writing. I think you can use this pin a lot.
Tim's American Beauty was made by Robust Tools, America's premier lathe manufacturer. Robust. Built to turn wood. Enjoyed for a lifetime.
Easy Wood Tools makes carbide tip turning tools, the Easy Chuck, beading cutters, live and drive centers, faceplates, and wire burning kits. Easy Wood Tools, easy to use, easy to own.